We're going to get started with what's your name, how old are you, and where are you from?
My name is Mary. I am from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am 33 years old.
Perfect. And how did you become an Elvis fan?
It was through my mom. I never remember a time growing up that I wasn't aware who Elvis was. I was very much an old soul. My parents would describe me as an old soul. Always would I'd be in the car like 5 years old, wanting to listen to oldies with my grandma or watching I Love Lucy. So I never really remember a time that I wasn't aware who Elvis was. But actually becoming a fan, I was 12. And how it happened was my mom happened to be watching Blue Hawaii one night and a VHS tape from the library. And prior to that, my mom and I were at the time, Seventh Heaven was a popular TV show. Not sure if you're aware of
Yeah.
what that is. But there was an episode where one of the main characters, the dad, was having a heart procedure and they asked him what kind of music he liked. And he said, I like Elvis. So they played Elvis music while he was having surgery and he was dreaming and he was singing Elvis songs and everything. So Rockahula Baby was in that episode, and my mom said, "Here, just come watch this one scene. It won't take long. Just watch this one scene." And I was like, "No, like I don't want to watch it." And I was in my room, and she asked me about 3 times, and I finally gave in, and I said, "Okay." So I went and watched it, and was calm, and I was like, "I think I'm gonna rewind that." So I rewound it a couple times and I was like, I'm going to watch the rest of this.
Mhm.
And so the next day, I asked my mom to go to the library and I got every CD, every book, every movie they had. And there was no in between. It was like from that day on, that was like in the summer. And then by the following April, I went to Graceland for the first time. So yeah, there was never in between. It was kind of that day. And I don't remember, it was just from that point on.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of like a casual Elvis fan. You're
Yeah.
either like all the way in or like you just like don't get it. Like
Yeah.
there's just no in
Yes.
between.
100%.
So what was it like going to Graceland then for the first time? So you spent some time like getting to know him, getting to know his music. Like what was it like showing up at Graceland and like going into the house? Like what was that experience like?
It was absolutely incredible. So I would have been 13 at the time. And I remember we got into Memphis late at night and we had our tour scheduled for the following day. But my mom and I were like, let's just go drive by Graceland. And my dad said, okay. After he'd already driven 8 hours, he was like, all right, we'll go. And I don't know, in my head, I was expecting it to be like way far off the road, like I wouldn't be able to see it.
Yeah.
And so I remember us driving by, and me and my mom saw it, and we just started like screaming and crying and telling my dad, turn around, we have to go back. And then like the next day we went on the tour, and then we ended up repeating the tour while we were there. I think we were there about 3 days. So we did the tour twice while we were there. And I've been back 27 times
Oh,
since.
wow.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna unpack that in a sec.
Yeah.
So was that your mom's first time there too?
Yes, it was.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that must have been so great for her too, being a fan. It sounds like for a while, for a long
Yes.
time, like being able to go. So what was it like to share that experience with her?
Um, it's that's a whole nother part of Elvis that's really special to me. Because I lost my mom 13 years ago.
Oh.
And I was around the same age as Elvis was when he lost his mother.
Mm.
So I kind of feel like that we have that connection.
Mhm.
But just Memphis, Graceland, Elvis, it's all kind of interconnected with the relationship with both my parents because once my mom passed away, my dad and I still went to Graceland, and he became even a bigger fan. So just Memphis, Graceland, Elvis, it's all just interconnected with my relationship with my parents and all the special memories. So
Yeah.
just being able to look back, and they're my favorite memories. So I would say my favorite memories live in Memphis at Graceland. So
Yeah. So, I mean, I became a fan after the movie.
mhm.
Since 2022, I've been to Graceland 6 times. So
Wow,
I
that's
get it,
awesome.
like going
Yes.
back multiple times. But can you
Yes.
explain what it is? Because I mean, it's not like the house changes. It's not like, I mean, they've added, the exhibition center and all that stuff. Can
Right.
you explain why you go back so many times?
Just being in that atmosphere, being with people who get it. Um, I love going to Elvis Week. Elvis Week is amazing.
Yeah.
Just getting those, making those connections with fans, and you don't. It's part of it. You don't. You just. I don't know. I don't even know how to say it right, but you just have that instant connection because of Elvis.
Yeah.
That you don't have to have anything else in common. It's just that instant connection. So just going back, and then not even, I mean, I even go when it's not Elvis week or birthday week, but just this city as a whole. It's just an amazing city, so much history. I always feel like I can just kind of step back in time when I go, and it's home. It's home to me. I hope to move there in the next few years. That's kind of a goal for me.
Yeah.
But it's just home, and I think Elvis would be proud that he can give that to so many people. It's just home.
Yeah. So you became a fan, like real
Mhm.
fan when you were like 12, 13
Yes.
years old. So what was it like being an Elvis fan as a kid when like obviously no one else was an Elvis fan?
Right, right. It was definitely, I kind of felt like like the outcast from my friends because I had an Elvis poster, everything in my room. And they'd come over and be like, why do you have Elvis up in your room? And so I'd have to go, tell them. And uh but it was definitely, I feel like now with the community on social media, it's so much better for the younger fans to come in because there is this community. Whereas back when I was 12, there wasn't that, except like when you went to Graceland and or Elvis Week and you saw it.
Yeah.
But it was definitely not the cool thing to do at the time. But I really didn't care.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm just me. Like I love Elvis and I'm not ashamed of it. And I will tell you.
Yeah.
And so, and also like my mom was my best friend. So having that was a special connection with me and my mom. Um, just being able to go to Graceland together, watch the movies together, listen to the music together, learn about Elvis together.
Yeah.
Just a really special thing.
Yeah. And so you mentioned meeting people from his circle or meeting people
Yeah.
from the world. So who's been like your favorite person that you've gotten to meet over the years?
My favorite is Miss Donna Lewis.
I love Donna Lewis.
I love her. She is just the most genuine, kind lady I've ever met. And just being able to sit down and talk with her whenever I get to Memphis is just amazing.
Yeah, yeah, I did an interview with her recently, like when
Yeah, I saw that.
birthday
Yeah.
week, and she's just the nicest lady, and
She
like,
is just the most kind and genuine person. I love her.
and I love that she, went from like basically being a gay girl, and then she like gave him gifts that he kept, and
Yeah.
put up in his house, like that picture in the basement between
Yeah.
the pool room and going up to the stairs to the jungle room, like that picture with the clock
Yes.
on it,
Yes.
like it's still there,
Yeah.
and she just gave it as a gift, and he just that's things meant so much to him,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
you would never find that today with
Right.
any
No.
celebrity,
No.
like I just another thing that sets him apart. So
Yes.
I love Donna Lewis. So I've been a fan for almost 3 years now. And
Mhm.
so, like I've read all the books. I've done
Yeah.
been doing all this research. And when I hear people that have been fans for 20, 50 years, it's mind-boggling to me, that you can
Mhm.
keep there's still stuff to learn, there's still stuff to do, there's still stuff to dig into. So what is it, now being a fan for 20 years, what is it that keeps you coming back to Elvis and keeps you engaged and keeps you excited? What, because he's not releasing new music, he's not
Right.
going on tour. So what is it that keeps you coming back to Elvis?
Um, there's so many things. Just like I said, before, I think I mentioned just his ability to connect with people, from all different walks of life. And like for me, it even goes deeper than just the music. Obviously, that's amazing and the best ever. But it just goes past that and just what kind of person he was. And then the fact like he thought people would forget about him, and I just like wish I could see his face like when if he were told that today, like all these people still coming to Graceland, listening to your music. And his his music is just, it's healing.
Mm.
Elvis is healing. I during the hardest times of my life during the grief of losing my parents, Elvis was there. Elvis was my friend and helped me get through that. And still, I mean, his music every day is just a part of my life. And there's some days I like the more upbeat stuff, and some days I'm not feeling it. So I let I'm feeling a little down. So I want some of like the slower songs. And so he just has that ability to connect with you through his music, but also just through him as a person.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people describe him as a member of their family.
Mm-hmm.
He just
Mm-hmm.
becomes a part of your life and he's just always there, you know?
Yes.
And I love that way of describing it, that he just
Yes.
becomes a member of your family. He's also
Mm-hmm.
like encroached upon my entire house. So it's not like I'm ever
Oh,
gonna have a man over ever again because
right.
Elvis
Right.
every
It's the same way for me. I have a smaller place right now, so my Elvis collection is like in a storage unit. But eventually, when I have a bigger place, I'm going to be able to display everything. But the one thing I have that is with me everywhere, like stays with me wherever I move, and not at the storage unit, is the concert scarf that my dad bought for me as a gift when I graduated from college. Because I really wanted one, and he knew that, so he bought that for me. So yeah, it was really that's like my prized possession.
So my last question for you is what
Mhm.
does being an Elvis fan mean to you today?
Um, I've been thinking about this one. Um, I don't want to like repeat myself 100 times, but um, just being an Elvis fan it's part of it's embedded in me. It's part of who I am at this point. Like going to Memphis, going to Graceland. It's home. Elvis is my home. Um, and then just being able to be in this generation of Elvis fans that's able to share it with upcoming Elvis fans. There's times I wish I'm like, man, I wish I lived back in the day when I could have seen Elvis in concert. But it's also an important time now because we need to keep that alive. We need to keep his legacy going to the younger fans, to nieces, nephews, whoever.
Mhm.
And just having that opportunity, I don't take it lightly. Um, Elvis's legacy. It's sacred and it should be kept that way.
Well, Mary, thank you so much for talking to me today. This has been really great, and especially hearing about your relationship with your mom. I think that's so special, and I hear that a lot about people having this real connection with their families, and I'm so grateful that you had that experience. So,
Mhm.
thank you so much for talking to me today, and
Thank you.
I hope a lot of people reach out to you based off your story.
Thank you so much.